Hello everyone, my name is Yasmin Williams and I am a part of Group 3's presentation for the restaurant Akwaaba. This assignment is for Cyber 7910, Capstone and Practicum. This PowerPoint will be presented to you by Takiesha, Shequile, Gray, Craig, and myself. Throughout this PowerPoint, we will collectively discuss what our assignment entailed, such as the background, objectives, technical plans, technology that was used, deliverables, information security policies, risk assessments, security tools, testing our own virtual machine along with testing Group 4's virtual machine, what our findings were, and lastly, forensic reports, also including documentation. This PowerPoint will then later discuss roles and contributions of each person, the challenges we faced, and references. Background. Akwaaba is a Caribbean-inspired steakhouse that has locations in Atlanta, New York City, and Los Angeles. The steakhouse is comprised of 1 to 2 hosts or hostesses, 2 to 5 waiters, 2 to 3 cooks, 1 bartender, 1 general manager per dinner shift, 1 accountant, 1 owner, 2 human resource agents, and 1 web developer. That is approximately 60 employees for the business. During this project, we as a group were able to determine that recommendations were needed in order to improve the security of the restaurant's infrastructure. As one of the 5 consultants from Group 3, our goal is to promote and maintain business safety. Recommendations are implemented to improve the technical plan, along with introducing the ISP as well. Project and objectives. The overall objective of this capstone was to learn about cybersecurity solutions and how to address enterprise needs. This was a short-term project that helped us to integrate knowledge in a variety of techniques. Throughout the semester, we as a group had to demonstrate how to analyze and evaluate cyber systems. Not only that, we had to learn how to combine skills that were taught to us throughout the program, such as project management, leadership, teamwork, oral and written communication skills, and critical thinking. By combining these skills, we were then able to utilize a variety of tools and methodologies to complete this project. Tools or technologies that were used included AID, NESIS, and OWASP ZAP. Within the project, we demonstrated how Akwaaba would benefit from the implementation of an ISP and technical plan, which Takiesha will discuss in the following slide.
A technical plan is a document that provides a comprehensive list of activities, such as costs and schedules, that are required to accomplish a goal. In this project, I, Takiesha Rainey, was responsible for completing the technical plan. I reviewed our business Akwaaba details, and I suggested a few technical tools for the company to protect and mitigate the company from online intrusions and employee errors, which can jeopardize the company negatively. I suggested an intrusion detection system and prevention system. The detection system will only provide an alert to the company, but the prevention system will take action and attempt to block the intrusion. Using both systems will protect the company assets and servers. I also suggested a firewall. A firewall should be implemented to have restrictions on the type of packets the company allow and deny on their network to prevent unauthorized access to hackers. Cloud services. Cloud services will be a great benefit for the company because the company is growing and have multiple locations in different states. Cloud services will allow the employees to access information across the server and collaborate more easier. I believe all technical efforts should be implemented within the next 60 days. Business recommendations. I recommend updating all applications to enhance security within the application. Application updates should always be a priority to avoid bugs and keep the application stable. Policy and procedures needs to be reviewed and updated as business changes are made. It is important to keep policy and procedures up to date so employees are aware of what is expected of them and the consequences if they do not abide by them. And last but not least, security training is also a priority. We recommend security training twice a year to keep staff up to date on the common vulnerabilities they are exposed to ultimately lower the risk of the company. The business recommendations should be implemented in the next 30 days. My company will be with you every step of the way. We will start updating your out to date applications within the next 48 hours, and we will assist in writing and reviewing the policy and procedures and helping you create the training guide that is needed for your staff.
This is Craig Wilson. I was in charge of doing the technology, the VM, and the other security tools that we use to attack Group 4. The technology we used in this particular project was Global Protect VPN, PuTTY, Zap, and AID. Global Protect VPN was used for us to connect to our VM. PuTTY was used to directly connect to the VM to install our advanced intrusion detection environment. And we also used Zap to not only test our vulnerabilities, but also to attack Group 4s.
Hello, my name is Shequile Gainer, and I'll be going over the information security policy. Information security policy. For our company, we have two different types of policies. The first policy I will go over is the acceptable use policy. This policy was created to ensure proper use of information resources. All employees, merchants, and contractors have access to information resources. The organization's information resources are to be used for professional tasks. The information resources include but not limited to the internet, electronic mail, computers, hardware, and software. The first item that is highlighted would be internet. All employees, merchants, and contractors whose duties require it have access to the internet. The policy goes into detail about acceptable use as well as prohibited use. For the acceptable use, the use of the internet to conduct corporate business. Another acceptable use would be occasional or accidental personal use of the internet if it does not interfere with the work of the personnel. Prohibited use would be sending or posting sensitive data outside of the organization without authorization. Next, we'll go into electronic mail and messages. So, all employees, merchants, and contractors who have duties that require it have access to corporate email. Acceptable use for electronic emails to conduct corporate business. A prohibited use would be to send outside sensitive data of the organization without authorization, as well as sending or receiving hacker related, hate based, or any material that is off limit. The next topic would be hardware and software. So, to defend the organization from attacks and to secure the integrity of the organization information assets, all software must be obtained from the organization official sources. Hardware will be provided by the organization as well as software. So for personal software, we did allow our employees to be able to use it. However, they must have it officially approved by corporate services. So this also include freeware as well as shareware in regards to software. Personal hardware that can include laptops, mobile devices, tablets is not authorized within our company unless authorized by the Information Technology Department. And if we do approve of the personal hardware must contain safeguards. So that includes firewall, spyware, protection, antivirus, software, and things of that nature. Next, we will go into the access control policy. This policy was created to establish access to the organization's network, data, application, and systems as it pertains to the personnel's role. As you can see, we do have different roles, and we will go over what they will have access to. So, for the general personnel, this will include hostess, the host, waiters, busboys, cooks, and bartenders. They will have access to the internet. They would definitely have internet access as well as limited access to organizational issued hardware and software. All managers will have access to the internet. Will have access to the hardware and software with limited admin permissions. They will also have email access. For the specialty personnel, this will include accountants, human resources, the owners, and web developers. They will have access to the internet, email, access to the hardware, software with admin, per- limited admin permissions, and full admin permissions to the organization issued depending on their job. Hello, this is Shequile Gainer again. And next, I will go over the risk assessment. Risk assessment. While reviewing our company's service infrastructures, I noticed three things that stood out to me. First, with Apache, I noticed to access the software, it did not require password or username. Next, I noticed with Maria database that the password and username for this software was very generic. However, when I got to the operation system, Red Hat, that the credentials were much stronger than the previous two softwares that's actually on our infrastructure. So after looking at that and made those recommendations to get that corrected, I went ahead and took a deeper look in our risk assessment of the company overall. By doing so, I listed out a few assets as well as some threats that can occur to these assets. The first asset I will go over is an employee. So with employees, there are many types of risks or threats that can occur to this asset. However, I just listed out a couple. I'm going to go over the first one, which is human error. This can involve entering customer name wrong, entering the card in incorrectly, swiping it more than it should have, things of that nature. I listed that of a likelihood of 4, which is it is likely. Human error, we're human. We're not robots. It can happen. However, if it were to occur, I listed the damage or impact score as a 2, which is a low. In most cases with these types of threats or risks, it can be corrected. And a lot of times it can be corrected in real time. Next, I have theft and vandalism. That can occur. I put that as a likelihood of a 1, as a rare occurrence. And if that were to occur, I gave it a low score of a 2. Next, we're going to go to our company's website. We can, I've selected for that one was the threats will be cyber attacks and phishing. Now, if a cyber attack were to occur, I put the likelihood of a 3. It is possible. It's possible that it can happen. However, if the cyber attack did occur, then the impact score will be a 4 or damage, because a lot of companies will probably go to our website to look at the menu, make reservations, and if that is down and they cannot access it, that's a high risk that can really affect us, affect services. Phishing, on the other hand, it is unlikely to actually happen. However, if it does, we give that as a medium because we don't want our customers going to a fake site. And then on top of that, I didn't give it a high because we don't require personal information to make the reservations. Next, we have the server. The server, if it were to get also hit with cyber attacks, pretty much how with the website, it has the same scores as that. 3 for likelihood, 4 for high. So I'm gonna actually go into something a little more different. Let's say system failure from overheating in the server room. 2 is very unlikely for this to happen. Not saying it's impossible, but it's very unlikely for this to happen. However, if it were to happen, it would be a high, being that it will impact the business. Next, I have hardware. Hardware is computers, cash register, things of that nature. Some threats can be theft, damage from national disaster, or damage from humans. That could be accidentally dropping it, things of that nature. So I was able to give them a rating based on those. Next, we have software. Some threats for that can be virus, malware, software failure, and that could be due to like it's not being updated properly, things of that nature. And I did give them their rating as well. Next, we're going to talk about the physical location, the restaurant. Some of the threats in risk I have listed was damage, national disaster, damage from humans, theft, failure of power supply. And again, they are listed with their ratings for possibility or likelihood, as well as any damage or impact scores.
My name is Olafimihan Olugboja. So I'm responsible for security tools, strategies for tool selection, part of configurations, part of updates, part of installation, and also vulnerability testing report. But before everything, I just want to give us an overview of what security tools are. So cybersecurity tools are specialized software, hardware, or services designed to enhance the security of computer systems or networks and data against cyber threats. And for the purpose of this capstone, we'll be working with security. The tools are software. So these tools are very important components in the field of cybersecurity because it helps organizations to identify, to prevent, to respond to, and to recover from various security incidents and attacks. Strategy for tool selection. So we have team meetings. So team meetings were conducted weekly, and the focus is to do an extensive research to identify and choose the most suitable open source security tools that are aligned with the project requirements and the learning objectives. So we have educational objectives, which we clearly define the educational objectives and the goals of the capstone. So we have emphasis on open source tools, which in terms of accessibility and affordability for the team members. So we also have real world relevance, which we select tools that mirror real world scenarios and commonly used in the cybersecurity industry. Also, our hands-on learning, which we choose tools that facilitate our hands-on learning experiences. Also, we prioritize tools that allow students to practice and implement the concept they learn in class. Also, ease of use. So these tools that we selected were tools that are user friendly, they are easy to navigate, and you can easily interact with these tools. Also, these tools has some collaboration features which students can easily work, multiple students can work on the software at the same time. And collaboration features also can enhance group projects and encourage knowledge sharing. So another important one is the documentation and tutorials. So we selected tools with comprehensive documentation and tutorials, and we encourage team members to explore resources that aid self-learning and troubleshooting. So students can go on, online on YouTube to self-develop themselves on the tools that were selected. One of the security tools that was used is Advanced Intrusion Detection Environment, which is known as AIDE. So I'm just going to give us an overview of AIDE and its role in intrusion detection. So this capstone centers around the deployment and configuration of AIDE to enhance the security posture of our organization's IT infrastructure. So AID play a pivotal role in monitoring and maintaining the integrity of the system files, detecting unauthorized changes, and facilitating early responses to potential security incidents. So installation was also done. Installation of AID was done. Configuration of AID was done. So the here down here is a screenshot of AID configuration. One of the security tools that was used is Nessus, and I'm going to be explaining Nessus as a vulnerability scanner. So this capstone entails the deployment and utilization of Nessus, which is, of course, a robust vulnerability scanner developed by Tenable Incorporation. The primary objective is to conduct a comprehensive vulnerability assessment across our organization's IT infrastructure. By leveraging Nessus automated scanning capabilities, policy customization, and extensive vulnerability database, we aim to identify and prioritize security risks, ultimately fortifying our overall security posture. So I have installation and configuration of Nessus, which was done, and this is a screenshot of the result analysis of a Nessus scan. So one of the security tools that was used in this capstone was ZAP, which is a Z attack proxy. So I'm going to give us an overview of ZAP as a web application security testing tool. So this project revolves around the implementation of OWASP ZAP for the comprehensive web application security assessment within our organization. It is known for it is known for effectiveness in identifying vulnerabilities in web application, and which was employed to systematically test and secure our web assets. The project aims to enhance the security posture of our web applications by leveraging ZAP's automated scanning and manual testing capabilities and integrating features. So I have automated scanning, and this is a picture. The image below is a image of the automated scanning of the OWASP SAP.
Akwaaba's virtual machine was configured via Global Protect VPN to get into PuTTY, which got into the bones of the virtual machine of Akwaabas. Within the VM, we used an advanced intrusion detection environment to both scan for vulnerabilities and also to protect and configure the VM so that it is safe and secure. To test our VM, we use ZAP, Z Attack Proxy. Within this program, it has several different automated features, automated simulation, automatic attack, and automatic searching or scanning. So our vulnerabilities were tested, and it was tested by just restricting the data that was able to go back and forth within the VM. It was also determined that there is a possible SQL injection attack that could happen within our VM, just based off of any Boolean characters. For one of the solutions is us to only grant minimum access to the database to anyone, and it's where a need to know basis of what you can access inside of our database.
Hello, my name is Shequile Gainer, and I'll be going over the forensic report. To conduct the forensic report, we use the security tool Event Intrusion Detection Environment, also known as AID. This tool is used to create a database of files on the system. Then it uses that database to ensure file integrity and to detect system intrusion. To perform the forensic report, we use the integrity check command. After performing that command, the system stated that there were no system intrusions.
When we tested Group 4's VM with ZAP, we got the results as to that did not look like they had a CSP header, which is the content security policy. So it seemed that they didn't have a security policy within their VM. We were also able to manipulate some of the conditions in some of the groups with Boolean conditions. The ZAP was only an automated simulation where it did not affect or change any value to Group 4's VM. It was just there to search to see if there was a possible way to attack. Also, the groups show that there was a potential SQL injection attack that could have happened, which is just another vulnerability for Group 4 to have. Then we also saw that within the path traversal, it would allow users to attack files, directories, and commands. Most of the time, websites are wanting to limit this access. These are just some of the vulnerabilities that we saw within Group 4's VM.